Hello, fellow Star Wars fans. My name is Starrapter, and I'm back to talk about some more Star Wars comics. It is a Wednesday, so we have new releases from IDW and Marvel. Starting off with Marvel, we have Star Wars issue number 8. This is part of Volume 2, and this is also part 2 of The Will of Tarkin, which is a nice little duology, which is going over the origins of Commander Zahra, who is the main antagonist for our heroes of Lando, Chewie, Luke, and Leia after the events of The Empire Strikes Back. So in this issue, we pick up where we have a little flashback. We have Vader, we have Emperor Palpatine. Emperor Palpatine is saying to Vader, look, we have to round up these rebels that have escaped us after the Battle of Hoth. I want you to go out there. And Vader says, no, I got some things to do, basically. And he recommends Commander Zahra, who it is the protege of Grand Moff Tarkin. And of course, Moff Tarkin died with the destruction of the Death Star, and that also set off Commander Zahra on her path because she unfortunately failed Grand Moff Tarkin. We find this out in a previous issue, and she didn't get a chance to redeem herself because the rebels ended up killing Moff Tarkin while he was on the Death Star when it exploded, of course. So she is given this opportunity to seek out the rebel cells, and she finds out that Leia Organa is in this specific fleet that she is tracking. So she ends up trapping these rebels and gets caught in a surprise attack from Leia Organa's forces, and she boards this ship and she goes toe to toe. She calls out Leia Organa, I want to see you face to face. You have, questions that I want answers to, stuff like that. And basically, Zahra is a complete badass. She, first off, looks like a complete badass with this unique black armor that has kind of like the ATST pilot helmet with the goggles, but it's all black. She's got like this, I don't know if it's a vibroblade, but she's got a certain kind of non-powered weapon that looks like a katana and a blaster. At one point, Luke comes in to intervene to try to save his sister, and she completely owns his ass. And, well, she can't kill him, though, because remember, Vader does not want anybody touching Luke Skywalker, so she ends up making a quick escape when she puts on her environmental mask and jumps out the window with a jetpack to get back into her Star Destroyer. So, yeah, this was an issue, again, that centers around the character of Commander Zahra, and thanks to Charles Soule, it really builds up the character to be a force to be reckoned with, and quite the opposite of Leia Organa. She now knows this other person on the other side of the war, on the other faction that is really her match. She matches her in wit and in strength. So this is going to be something that we revisit once again when Luke hopefully can't intervene this time. But nonetheless, we get to see more of Commander Zahra, and she returns to her ship, the Will of Tarkin, or something like that. And she has all these carcasses or these heads of trophies of different creatures from throughout the galaxy, just like her mentor Tarkin would do. So very cool character there. We also see the return of Wedge when they are freed from the cruiser that is being sort of bombarded by the Imperials, and Luke and his wingmates are able to kind of break through that force, and then we get to see Red 2, Wedge himself, come to the rescue, and it's a really cool moment. They're on Home 1. We also get a mention of Thrawn. So when Emperor was initially giving a mission to Vader to, get rid of the rebels, he also mentions that he can't send Tarkin. Obviously, he wants to, but he's dead. And he can't send Thrawn for whatever reason either. So this tells me in canon timeline, Thrawn still can't come back any earlier than The Empire Strikes Back. I'm still thinking they're going to go Heir of the Empire way and just reintroduce them after Return of the Jedi, make a pseudo kind of new canon version of that down the road with whatever they decide to do with animation or books or whatever. But that is where I digress. Overall, this is a really cool comic, and we're going to start a new arc after this, which is going to deal with more High Republic stuff like the Starlight Beacon. So I'm really looking forward to that. Next up, we have IDW Star Wars The Shadow of Vader's Castle. So these have been kind of an annual release from IDW during October. Unfortunately, this is November 4th. Yeah, so obviously Halloween is over, so they missed the boat on that one. Oh well, better luck next year. They've been generally doing these not one-shots, but miniseries, so they were releasing in previous years, issue by issue, which had different characters and everything else like that. They combine it all into a one-shot for this one for $7.99. So they're trying something new here. I still think it worked pretty well, though, because it deals with Mustafar, which all the other ones were previously on, but there's new characters here, these Mustafarian kids who just decide this is after the Return of the Jedi, so Vader is no longer alive. They need to destroy Vader's castle. So they get these detonators and they are going to try to take out Vader's castle. They aren't successful in that, and it ends up leading into the Ghost of Vader's Castle, which is going to come out next year. So we got something to look forward to next year, which is great. So the story is broken up into basically a bunch of these stories that these people are telling each other as they're going to try to take out the task to destroy Vader's castle. So you have some things about, Anakin Skywalker when he first arrives to Mustafar, he's crying and somebody sees him and he's haunting him and there's this gas that makes people hallucinate. There's another one where it's about these people that are doing experiments, and one of them figures out how to make somebody into a Gamorrean guard. Yeah, I know, these are crazy stories. Another story is about a little Twi'lek girl who is given a task from the Emperor himself to go and find this crystal, which almost looks like a kyber crystal, and she goes into this dark tomb and there's these like zombie droids and everything like that. So there's a lot of diverse storytelling in this actual story of Shadow of Vader's Castle, and it all leads up to the end where we find out that Vinny is still alive. Yes, that creepy guy from Rogue One, he actually is an acolyte of the Beyond, which we find out in the interludes of Star Wars Aftermath. So it's great to see that they are still playing around the idea of acolytes of the Beyond. Maybe they'll be part of the Sith Eternal. Maybe that's the precursor of the Sith Eternal. I hope we get more stories about them soon enough, but it was cool to see how Vinay was originally an Imperial officer, and then he just starts going crazy in the mind, and Vader just basically subjugates him to create him to be his own servant for basically the rest of his life. So it's very cool storytelling, very creepy. I like the color palette. I like how there's the various different artists that you would expect from the Star Wars Adventures lines, like Derek Charm, and we got Nick Brokenshire here. We also got the artist Francavilli. So lots of cool artists, and there's just a lot of good work put into this issue, and I'm looking forward to the next ones. What did you guys think of these comics? Did you pick them up? What did you think? Let's talk about it in the comment section down below. For more on Star Wars, I've been putting up my weekly reviews for Star Wars The Mandalorian Season 2. So I put up my first episode with my buddies Milton and Ben, so you can check that out on the channel right now. Until next time, that's going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.